Well, the idea for the iPhone originated back in 1995. At the time, I was doing a fair amount of strategic development work with National Semiconductor, and wandering through their labs, I came across a prototype of basically a telephone that had been integrated with a rudimentary web browser. And looking at it, it just really fired my imagination in terms of where the web was going, and realizing that the original information appliance was really the telephone. And here we are looking at the web coming into mainstream use. This integration on one hand of the telephone with the internet on the other hand, connected to ever broader pipes, providing access to unlimited amounts of information through the World Wide Web. And at that point in time, we decided to sit down with our friends at National Semiconductor and see if we could pull this prototype out of National Semiconductor and build a company around it. And that company became Infogear Technology Corporation, which I was pleased to be the founder and chairman of, and the home of the original iPhones. So the idea that you could have a familiar appliance that integrated telephony, voice messaging, email, text messaging with search capability of the web. Something that was very simple and easy to use, that would provide for integrated messaging, access to directories of information, analogous in some ways to the Yellow Pages, but now sitting, out on the web. And it just struck me as a big idea and a good idea, and something that deserved a company to support it. My background really been as a technologist, as a serial entrepreneur. I had a background in computer science. I had built one technology company in the software space, and really had a passion for finding ideas and developing ideas that I thought had the potential to transform marketplaces. And the two models that really came to mind were the telephone company model, where the telephone company is used to supplying its customers with appliances and basically subsidizing the price of those devices through monthly payments. We also looked at the cable model, where they had a very, very similar business model of providing set-top boxes to the customers and amortizing the cost of that set-top box, over the life of the box to the customer paying on a monthly basis. At the end of the day, that we were so far ahead of them. They would look at us, and the reaction was, well, now, why would we do that? The challenge, I think, was that we needed a distribution channel. While we were able to sell 100,000 units, we didn't have the resources as a startup to go off and either subsidize the sale of the devices into the marketplace, and we didn't necessarily have the dollars available to us to go off with a large branded retail distribution strategy. So we are really committed to a partnering strategy. And what we couldn't do is find a partner, in 1998 that shared our vision of how telephony and the web would come together as a consumer experience. I think as we went about trying to translate our vision into product and into a business strategy, we really ran into two sets of challenges. And we had certain product features that we thought were critical, but were incompatible with available technology and the price point we were trying to hit in the marketplace. Number two is really comes down to market timing. We had the right vision, but I think we were early in the market cycle where the components hadn't evolved to a point where we could deliver the product that we want to deliver at a price point that we felt would give us great market traction. And at the same time, we were reliant on partners who really were not enmeshed deeply enough yet into the internet phenomena, did not envision the way that we envision this merging of the internet and telephony. Today we all take that for granted. 12 years ago, people did not take that for granted. That was a different idea. The internet was different from telephony. Only today have those two really come together. When I bring it back and say, what's the one takeaway from all that? We were early in the marketplace. While in many ways we didn't fully realize the vision that we had when we started the company, it turned out okay at the end of the day. We sold the corporation to Cisco in May of 2000 for north of $300 million. So I think our investors were certainly pleased. We as a founding team were pleased. But there was still, frankly, a little bit of disappointment that we had seen the future. We had seen a future that would incorporate millions of iPhones. Everybody would be using devices with this integrated messaging methodology, with integrated web services, and we hadn't been able to achieve that level of success. So I guess today, we jump forward, 10 years from the time that Cisco bought the company. And in some ways it's gratifying to see that there still is an iPhone in the marketplace, and that the origins of that integration of web and telephony was something that a team of entrepreneurs who are passionate about a vision started to work on about 14 years ago.